So to make our app work flawlessly between the different pages that we're going to have, we are going to install vuex. I always find myself reaching for vuex because it just makes things a lot easier personally for me. Some people say it's overkill, but I think it's great for even smaller projects. So let's go into the hang with directory that we're in and do an npm install on vuex, if I can spell install correctly. And let's go ahead and save these to our dependencies. Once this is finished, what we can do is just start to create a store directory inside of here, boot this up and pass it back into Vue, pretty much like we have done with Vue Router already. So let's create this store folder. And again, if you're not sure what vuex is or what the benefits are, we have a course on that you can go ahead and follow. So I'd recommend understanding what vuex is, but hopefully it will give you an idea as we go through the course, how it makes things easier. So the first thing I'm going to do is just list out all of my kind of standard vuex files that I use. So getters.js, which is the ability to get from our particular state. We're going to have a mutations.js, which will mutate our state. We're going to have a state, which of course is the state that we are mutating and getting from. And we are also going to have a main index.js file, which of course is going to export our getters, mutations, and state wrapped in a new vuex instance. So inside of index.js, this is pretty straightforward. All we want to do is go ahead and import Vue from Vue. And we want to import subsequently vuex from vuex. We want to say Vue use vuex, because that's going to make Vue aware that we are using vuex. And we're going to go ahead and export from here a new vuex store. And then into this store, we pass our state, our getters, and our mutations, but we don't have them available in this file yet, so we're going to have to go ahead and kind of build these out. Now for the state, this is just going to be an object, so let's export an object in here, and let's just add something in here like room. We're going to be setting the room in a couple of parts time, and this will just allow us to enter a room name and have that available throughout the course of our application regardless of which page we're on. So we have a room variable in here, which at the moment is nothing. Let's just switch this over to something for now, just so we can test that our getters and mutations are working. And if we come over to getters, all we need in here is a getter to get the room name. So let's export a function called getRoom, and this will automatically give us our state inside of here, which we can read from, and all we're doing is returning state.room. So all this is a function which is just returning the value inside of here. And for our mutations, let's just leave these alone just for now. We'll get to them in just a minute. So over in our index.js file for our vuex store, what we can now do is import all of our getters, import all of our mutations, and import our state. So let's start to do this now. Import state from state. Let's import, because we're doing multiple exports in here, we need to import start as getters from getters, and we're also going to have the same thing for our mutations as well. So let's just switch them over. Now inside of our store, all we need to do now is pass in our state, our getters, and our mutations, and we're pretty much done. We're not going to use actions in this, but we do cover that in other courses. So now that we've done this, all we need to do is over in main.js, import this exported vuex store instance and go ahead and inject it into our Vue instance. So we're going to import store from store, and that will automatically pick up the index.js file. And all we do in here is pass in the store, and that is pretty much all we need to do. Now nothing will have changed over here, but what we can now do is start to take a look at if this works. And as we progress through the course, this will start to become a little bit more clear. So if we come over to components and hello world, let's just get rid of all of this, and let's output the result of, if we just get rid of this as well, let's output the result of our get room getter. So we're going to be doing this quite often in the course. Let's just indent this and go ahead and import map getters from vuex. What this will do is it will allow us to go ahead and use computed properties, and let's just define this out as an object. We go ahead and spread in map getters, and we know that we can get out a room. So we're just going to say get room. We're going to map that to the property room. So when we output room in here, what that's going to do is it's going to read from get room, which of course, if we come over to here, we'll go ahead and return state room. And over in state, we should see ABC. So essentially what we should see on the page now is ABC, and we do. And we still have this logo hanging around in here. So why don't we just go ahead and tidy this up while we are here. There we go, perfect. So that is pretty much vuex set up. We'll be adding to this along the way, and this is going to make it a lot easier, especially when we start to go through to different pages. Now, one last thing that I've noticed with Vue Router is we're currently using the hash style of routing. This will just mean that Vue will read anything after here and then try and match the route. But what we want is the HTML5 history mode. So let's go over to the router now over here and go ahead and set the mode inside of here. Okay, so this is simple enough. We just want to go ahead and pass in mode history, and we'll notice now that when we land on our page without the hash, this works as normal. So we're now going to have, just normal looking URLs. We can get rid of that again. So that is pretty much vuex set up. We have a very basic getter, but like I said, we'll be adding to this along the way. Let's move over to the next part where we're going to look at styling out the join form where we can join a particular room.